Okay, so for tonight's homework, we are, I'm seeing that we are writing each mixed number as an improper fraction. So a mixed number is whenever you have a whole number, like 2, next to a fraction, like 1/4. And we're turning that into an improper fraction. And an improper fraction means that our numerator, which is the top number of our fraction, is always bigger than our denominator, which is the bottom number of our fraction. For example, 5 over 2 is an improper fraction, or 3 over 1 is an improper fraction. We can turn that to 3. Let me think of a better example. 6 over 4 is an improper fraction. So our numerator is bigger than our denominator. So the way that we do that is actually pretty simple. I like to think of it as kind of like a circular motion where we're starting with the far number on the bottom and we're kind of working it over to this number right here. So let me explain how we do this. What we're going to start to do first is we're going to multiply our bottom number, our denominator, by our whole number on the left side, which is 2. Whoop. Let me see if I can make a little cross here. Boom. So I got to go 4 times 2. Well, I know that 4 times 2 equals, let's see if I can do it, an 8. So now that I've multiplied 2 times 4, I have one more thing to do. I need to take that 8 and I need to add it to the numerator, which is on the top, which is 1. So 8 plus 1, 9. Now, here's the easy part. I see that my denominator is 4. Our denominator actually always stays the same. So my answer would be 9 over 4. Let me try number 2 for you. We're going to do the same thing. 8 times 8, I know is 64. And then I take that 64 and I'm going to add the numerator. Which is 3, 64, 65, 66, 67. 64 plus 3 is 67. And then I remember that my denominator, the bottom number on my fraction, always stays the same. So my answer, 67 over 8. Let's do one more. I see we have 2 and 5, 6, and I want to turn this into an improper fraction. What I would do is I would take my 6, which is my denominator, and I would multiply it by my whole number, which is 2. So 6 times 2, that gives me 12. I'm going to put the 12 up here. Now I just have one more step. I've got to add this 12 and this 5 together to get my final number on my numerator. I know my multiplication and my add sign look kind of similar. I should use a dot for multiplication next time. 12 plus 5, 17. And if you guessed right, our denominator always stays the same. So our denominator on our improper fraction is going to be 17 over 6. So that is how you change a mixed number into an improper fraction. Now, to do the opposite, which is turn an improper fraction into a mixed number, we kind of have to do some reverse thinking. I've actually got to think to myself, well, 7 over 5, I got to think about how many times does our denominator, in this case 5, fit into our number 7. So what I'm going to think to myself is, well, I know 5 goes inside of 7 one time. After I do that, I'm going to see how much I have left over. And the way I do that is I'm actually going to subtract 7 and 5, and that gives me 2. 7 minus 5 is 2, and that's actually going to be what's left on my new numerator. So I just took my improper fraction, 7/5, and I turned it into a mixed number, 1 and 2/5. Let's try this one. I'm going to think of how many times the number 4, our denominator, fits into our numerator 9. Well, it goes in once, 4 times 1 is 4, and it goes in twice, 4 times 2 is 8. I know it can't go in any more, so I know that my whole number is going to be 2. Well, I know 4 times 2 is 8, so I'm actually going to take, whoop, that's supposed to be a 9, and I'm supposed to subtract that 8 from it. And that's going to tell me how much I have left over. 9 minus 8 is 1. So I find that my new numerator is 2 and 1/4. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, but I hope that this gave you a good idea about what to do on some of your students' math homework tonight. Good luck, everybody.